Okay, time for some man time. I have some questions for you. I've been needing some help with this. Let's see if we can get me the help that I need. Why is it that African Americans, blacks, Negroes, pro blacks, Pan Africans, or American descendants of slaves, or even people of color say that their greatest nemesis are white folks? If they're oppressed and marginalized because of slavery, so badly that their DNA, their biological makeup, is distorted because of the effects of slavery, even though they claim to have been kings and queens before they were slaves, which means the king and queen in their DNA, in their biology, in their history, is somehow weaker than the slave in their biological makeup, in their DNA, which means they had weak king and queen in them and they had strong slave in them, which makes absolutely no sense. But how is it then that the female population of these groups, or this group, all find it as a high social status to be flown out to different countries for sex? How is it then that a great percent of these females from this one group is okay with the concept of being recruited or even applying to be recruited to fly out to Dubai and other Middle Eastern countries for sex and fetishes, to be pooped on and peed on? How is it okay that it is okay to be degraded and to be a sex slave and to be a fetish slave in a different country, but not in your own country? How is it then okay that these same groups of women will refuse to be a sex slave for their own men, for their own husbands, will refuse to be a fetish slave for their own men, for their own husbands, who will break up their families, their homes, their households, who will divide the children, who will create chaos and toxicity in their own family structure, in their own community, their own society, because they refuse to be played by a man, yet they will be paid to be played by a man, and it will be okay. Hell, a bunch of them moved to Africa, saying they're moving to Africa for a better life because this is a slave-riddled, oppressive, racist country. However, races are also in Africa. Slavery is alive and well and going strong in Africa. And they get treated worse in Africa than they do in the States, even by black Africans. In fact, even African men have the same issue where their women, their wives, their daughters, and mothers are selling their daughters and their sons into slavery in Arab countries to also be sex slaves, fetish slaves, and service slaves. So the only slave that the black American woman refuses to be is a service slave. And the African woman, the black African woman, will be any kind of slave. And they both do it. They both only do it. And they both primarily do it for the money, but not for their men. And they'll both sell their children into it, also for the money. But what do I know? I guess hypocrisy is only hypocrisy when you don't see it. Or maybe when you do. Who knows? Anywho, like, comment, share, and subscribe. And hit that bell notification on the way out. I'd like to hear what your answers are. And until next time, man time out.